Let's make it a good day.
Coming up today, did Aaron Rodgers score a touchdown on his first day guest hosting Jeopardy?
That is a great question. Should be.
The answer is in the hot dish. Then late night legend Jay Leno will join us live, and he's giving us a sneak peek at his new game show, a remake of the classic You Bet Your Life. And find out how a change of hairstyle led one Twin Cities woman to live a more authentic life. Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah.
Good morning, Egan. Good morning, Apple Valley. Good morning, Burnsville. And good morning to you. Welcome. Oh, look, it's the skyline behind me. Welcome to the 9 o'clock news, everybody. I feel like I'm getting ready to do a news report. My old job. Welcome to the Jason Show. I'm Jace. Please say hello to my sidekick sister from another mister and America's favorite firefighter, Kendall Mark, everybody.
Firefighter.
That's right. How you doing?
I was practicing my pageant wave.
That's great.
I don't think I'm doing. You're not supposed to show the armpit. Is what I've been told.
Like that? Like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, your family, your whole family, that's your family business, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, you have the judge, and then your sister is all, yeah.
Except for me. You conveniently always forget that part.
No,
the whole
you were.
Family.
No, you were a pageant queen, weren't you?
No, I lost the one that
oh.
I entered. We go over this every time. It's starting to get offensive.
Well.
My sisters and my mother.
Okay.
None of me.
Well, I'll talk to those judges. You should have won.
Yeah.
You should have won.
Tell them.
Hey, let me just ask you. Hey, how are you doing? How are you feeling today?
I feel fine. Can you see my one swollen eye or
Yeah.
both of them?
Can I tell you, Steve, get ready. One of us is a hot mess today. Steve, go ahead and take that other camera right there. That's a hot mess right there.
He was choosing you.
No, I was choosing you. She comes in, and now mind you, that lovely lady you're looking at, she's not even 30, right? Well, how old are you?
Thank you. I'm 31.
Okay, you're 14. She's in here, and she's like, we're in our meeting. She's like, oh, I'm tired. Well, the day started. I received a text message at 4:45. Now, no, the only people that text me at 4:45 are the people I work with. So I'm like, oh gosh.
What happened?
What executive producer Jeff, is the show canceled? You know what I mean? What did I say to offend grandma? You know what did I do today?
Yep.
So I get the following text message from my buddy over there, Kendall. Hey Jason, if you haven't gone to Starbucks, can you get me a medium Americano with an extra shot of espresso and a splash of oat milk?
Okay, excuse me. What is your Starbucks order? Please tell the people.
A venti salted caramel cream cold brew with extra foam blended on 4.
I rest my case.
Yeah, you're right. But anyway, so I go, Starbucks was closed for whatever reason. I don't know why. The Eden Prayer, it's closed. There was a sign on the box. I couldn't read it.
Okay.
Anyway, so I went to Caribou, and I ordered mine, and then I said hi, and then I felt dumb. I'm like, she wants a medium Americano with an extra shot of espresso. And do you have oat milk? Something I've never said before in my life. I didn't know that you could get milk from oats. I don't.
Yep.
Is it good?
It's a pressed process. It's delicious. Try it.
Okay. Did you enjoy your beverage?
I did, and I really, truly appreciated it because Mama needed it this morning.
Okay, so that leads me to the end of the story. So she starts off and she says, ugh, I had you get that because I woke up late and da-da-da-da-da. So she was a mess this morning. And then during our meeting about 45 minutes ago, executive producer Jeff goes, what is wrong with you? Because she's all like laying out like this. She goes, oh, my eyes are swollen, my this and this. I'm like, oh my goodness. So Jeff and I start singing my favorite song, The Old Gray Mare, She Ain't What She Used to Be. Yeah.
That's me, everybody.
That's you.
I got like a solid 2 hours.
Well, I'm sorry about that.
It was just one of those nights.
You look sensational, though. No one can tell, right, audience? Steve, take another shot. No one can tell.
I mean, honestly, this eye is like quivering, trying not to shed.
I can't tell. I'm looking at you now. You look beautiful.
Thank you.
Take the compliment.
It's all those espresso shots in my medium Americano with an extra shot of espresso and oat milk.
And your oat milk. Didn't know you could get milk from an oat. Didn't know it. Let's get started, everybody. It's time for the hot dish. Roll it, Steve. Here we go.
Can you stop doing that?
Aaron Rodgers was guest hosting Jeopardy this week. I'm just going to do it because it's irritating you. He was guest hosting. He just started guest hosting this week. But he couldn't quite escape his day job. During Final Jeopardy, a contestant took a little jab at the Green Bay Packers quarterback. Look at this.
Over to our two-day champion on the end. Scott, did you come up with the correct response? Who wanted to kick that field goal? That is a great question. Should be correct, but unfortunately for this game today, that's incorrect, and you're going to lose 0. Thank you for that, and congrats on your 2-day win streak.
Well, that is, if you're like me and you don't watch football, that's a reference to the Packers' playoff loss to the Buccaneers. Did you get that joke right away?
Yes.
Okay,
Jason.
I wanted to. She is sassy. That eye is making her sassy. Her wounded eye is making her. Hey, I have a hot take that may surprise you, because if you watch the show, you remember that when Aaron Rodgers was announced, I went, I don't know about that, Sally. I like him. You know why? Is he a little dull in the hosting? His voice is a little. Yes, but I think that plays well with the Jeopardy audience. I think you need somebody with Aaron Rodgers' temperament and that tone of voice. That's what you. Why are you laughing?
I think a dull tone of voice is really what the audience was looking
Well,
for.
oh, did I just give a backwards compliment? I didn't mean to. I'm being very genuine.
I know.
Aaron's cadence, Aaron Rodgers' cadence when he was talking right there, it is a little prodding. It's a little slow. I think for Jeopardy, you don't want anyone to be like, na 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 na. You want someone to come out like Alex. You know what I mean?
Right. You don't want either of us like, hey, so what do you think the answer is?
No. So that's why I'm complimenting. I think he did a great job.
I think he did too, and he handled that really well too. Because I mean, that's going to skew you a little bit. It's going to throw you off when you don't normally host something.
Yeah. So congratulations. I think he did I can't wait to watch more.
Can you?
No, I'm not going to watch anymore. But he did well right there. Next in the dish, more speculation that things are on the rocks for one of Hollywood's biggest couples. Jennifer Lopez is on the cover of In Style magazine. Look at her.
Woo!
I mean, again, sometimes God gives with both hands. Boop, boop. The story features her famous exes, Mark Antony, Ben Affleck, raving about her. But one person is noticeably missing from the article. There are no quotes from her fiance, Alex Rodriguez. And insiders tell Page Six the story was done months ago, so it seems to indicate J-Lo and A-Rod have been having problems for a little while. J-Lo also is not wearing her $1 million engagement ring in photos for the piece. However, another source, there are a lot of sources in the story, there's more than the Watergate tapes. Another source says this is not a sign the two are on the outs and people are reading too much into this. I think so too. My goodness, I mean, how many sources? It's an In Style article. It's not a Washington Post article. But you said you read the whole thing. God bless you. I couldn't get through paragraphs. But this made you like her even more?
Oh gosh, it just like reinvigorated my love for J-Lo. And just everyone spoke so highly of her from all these facets of her life, which leads me into, yeah, that's a little weird that they didn't talk to her fiance, who she's been with for all these years, when they talked to like everybody who's ever been in a movie or on a set with her. It did come off a little odd. And he didn't post about it on social media.
Can I give you a little, like a dish?
Yes.
So from someone that worked at US Bank Stadium when J-Lo was performing and was around a lot, I won't say what their name is, but that person that I won't name said she was not very nice to the crew. And you know I don't like to hear that.
But I've heard from like anyone else who's ever worked with her that she always was really nice, but she's
good.
super intense.
I'm just telling you there's another perspective because she's not, I am delightful to the crew. Like Tyler, I try to be nice.
There's only like 3 people we need to be nice to.
That's right, yeah. I mean, the crew's going like this. It depends on the day.
I do think she's a really intense, very determined, focused, intentional person.
Yeah.
And that can come off as, like when you're in the moment, I think that can come off as cold.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah.
But I love her.
Next in the dish, the day we've dreaded has arrived. There's going to be a movie based on Peeps. Otherwise known as the 4th Horseman of the Apocalypse. The animated film is described as a mix of Trolls and the Smurfs. Deadline says it'll be a road trip movie. Okay, they don't have arms, so I don't know how they're going to drive a car. But anyway, it'll follow, quote, a ragtag group of peeps who set out on a cross-country journey to attend Peeps Fest in Pennsylvania. I just read that. My mom is very proud. No word on who will voice the Peeps or when the movie will hit theaters. Lewis Black, my favorite comedian, has a routine. It's called The End of the Universe. And he goes, I know where the end of the universe is. And it was in Houston, Texas, where he stood on a corner and there was a Starbucks behind him. And he looked across the street and there was another Starbucks. He says that is where the end of the universe is. When you look at a Starbucks and you look across the street and there's another Starbucks. I would never challenge my friend Lewis Black, but I now know where the end of the universe is, and it's a Peeps movie. This is it. We're done. We're done. We're done as people. The fact that Hollywood is making a Peeps movie, a road trip movie about characters without arms. Think about Peeps, and they're stuck together. Are they all going to be in the front seat? Is the whole row of Peeps going to be in the front seat? Christian ponder all of this.
I wonder if any of them get eaten.
I certainly hope so.
Huh.
We have a lot more to come. Stay right there. We'll be back after these words. We're just getting started. Coming up next, he's already a legend of late night. Now Jay Leno is trying his hand at game shows. Mr. Leno will join us live to talk about the reboot of You Bet Your Life. Plus, it's a project we can all get behind. Meet the Twin Cities woman behind the Inner Beauty Project. How showing your natural beauty can lead to a better and more authentic life. And from a date with Ted to Mountain Dew to a pasta product. Y'all have a lot to say this week, so we are opening up the Jason Show mailbag. That and more when we come back.
We were talking, and I wanted to see, you had a picture of you.
I was Evel Knievel.
So I love Evel Knievel, and it was you dressed up as a screen test for Evel Knievel, and you're like, I'll send it to you, but don't show it. And I go, yeah, because it's us. I go, great. And I couldn't remember my number, so I go, and I just rattled off my number, which I thought was mine, but it was my wife's. And halfway
And
through...
so I send a photo of me full dressed. This is like my camera test of Evel Knievel. Not test, like, we were 2 days away from filming. I was blonde, I was hairy-chested, I was everything. And yeah, I didn't put anything. I just sent a photo.
Yeah.
And then I got the, who is this?
Oh, yeah.
That is the horribly unattractive Milo Ventimiglia. Yeah, from This Is Us. Talking about accidentally texting Jimmy Fallon's wife a photo of himself dressed as Evel Knievel. Yeah.
He's so difficult to look at. Like,
I know.
it's just hard. It hurts your eyes.
That's just, I mean, and I mean this, and I think even if the Marlboro Man was here, you know, like the straightest guy ever, you got to look at that man and say, you know what? That's just a good-looking man.
And he always plays, like, the best, coolest characters.
Yeah.
Like This Is Us.
More hot dish for you. Disney Plus unveiled a new trailer for its upcoming Loki series, showcasing the god of mischief on a time-bending journey. Look at this.
We protect the proper flow of time.
You picked up the Tesseract, breaking reality.
I want you to help us fix it. Why me?
I need your unique Loki perspective.
Do I get a weapon?
Nah.
Okay, so Loki is asked to help correct the timeline that he messed up when he used the Tesseract in the Avengers movies. And for 50% of you, what I just said, series of hoots and clicks. He'll team up with Owen Wilson's character, who works for the Time Variance Authority, which oversees the multiverse. Another sentence only 17% of you get. Loki comes out on June 11th. On Disney Plus. This looks good. This looks good.
Yeah.
Are you with me?
Totally, 100%.
But we're also in the middle of another Marvel series on Disney Plus, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I watched episode 3 over the weekend, and here's the deal. I want to like this. I'm a nerd. Kendall's a nerd. Wouldn't you want to be a nerd too?
Duh.
I'm a Marvel guy. I'm sorry, but I couldn't care less.
Really?
I couldn't care less. I liked episode 1. I liked episode 2 less. And this one, I found myself, I was playing Frogger on my phone. I don't know. None of the plots are getting me. Look, it's only 6 episodes. I'm gonna watch to the end because it's gonna connect to the larger universe.
Right.
But I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed. Are you watching this one, Kendall?
No, but that was going to be my question to you. Is will
Don't
you
watch it.
continue just for the idea of like then you can keep up with
Yes.
the cinematic universe?
And you don't have to watch it. I'll just tell you what happens at the end so we can move on. Yeah. No, I just mean I'll save you the trouble. I'll watch it so you don't have to. You're very welcome. 7 years after signing off from The Tonight Show, Jay Leno is returning to the comedy hosting gig. He's helping a reboot of the famous game show from more than a half a century ago. Look at this.
We asked people, what planet is furthest in our galaxy? So I'm going to give you a hint. It is named after Mickey Mouse's dog. This guy said when he went, Goofy. That's right, sir. It's the Goofy planet. We're going to be doing that.
Yo, You Bet Your Life is coming to Fox this fall, and joining us to talk about it, the late night legend himself. There he is, Mr. Jay Leno. Hi, Jay.
Hi, Jez. I'm not hearing what a handsome man he is. I didn't hear that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wow, Jay, you look real good, my friend.
Why, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And it was so off the cuff and unexpected. I appreciate that.
And very
How you been?
I'm good. You know, Jay, I'm going to start off you won't remember this, and I know you hate, celebrities hate when people do this, but you might actually remember this. I sat next to you at the Starkey Gala benefit when you hosted about 3 years ago. Tony Blair, it was the weirdest table ever. It was you, Tony Blair, and like Gene Simmons, I think. And it was just the oddest mix of people ever.
Yeah. I once did Merv Griffin. It was me, Gerald Ford, and an astrologer. And I go, Merv, how do you have an ex-president, a comedian, an astrologer? Which one of them doesn't belong here? Yeah.
It was great. Okay, Jay, for the youngins in the audience that don't remember Groucho, don't remember the original You Bet Your Life, what's the premise?
Well, the premise is two strangers come together to win some money. It was really, when I did The Tonight Show, the whole thing of jaywalking, we're just going out in the street, not picking people, you're not pre-interviewed, just grabbing people at random and asking them questions, really came from watching Groucho. And that's what this is. It's basically jaywalking, but with a comedy game element attached to it. We get two strangers, they meet for the first time when they walk out on the stage. You got Jamal, you got Susan. Okay, you guys are gonna have to work as a team, and they try to win some money, and that's basically what it is. My favorite thing about the show was no politics.
Yeah.
I mean, everything is. When I did The Tonight Show, I sort of prided myself on humiliating, degrading both sides equally, and people seem to like that. But in the intervening years, everything's started to become, you have to give your opinion, you have to say why you like or dislike it, and it's so divisive now, whereas the idea of this is, I have so many friends who I couldn't disagree with more on politics, so we don't discuss politics, and that's basically what we'll do on this show.
I love it, and you're reuniting with Kevin on this, aren't you?
Oh, I love Kevin. Kevin and I have been friends for a long time. And Kevin will call me out when we're on The Tonight Show. He would go, Jay, that's not even funny, And it was so disconcerting that I would actually laugh. And so we just, that's how because it was really organic. Kevin wasn't picked to be a sidekick on The Tonight Show. He's one of the great jazz guitarists of all time. So we had him in the band, and then he would just pipe up and say something. So we just moved him to the forefront, and he became my sidekick for the last 20 years of the show.
Jay, I'm a late night nerd. I know probably too much about late night. So it's an honor to be able to ask you this question. What aspect of The Tonight Show do you miss the most? I think I know the answer, but is it coming out? You didn't have a curtain like Johnny, but is it coming out and hearing the roar of the audience? Is it the monologue? Is it the crafting of the monologue?
It's the monologue.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, I would say 85% of the effort went in the monologue because near the end of the run, the last 7, 8, 9 years or so, the monologue was 12 to 14 minutes because there were so many talk shows. Every guest had been everywhere that you want to just get as many laughs in there as you could. So yeah, the monologue was the most fun for the idea of something happens, you write a joke about it that day, and you get it on the air that night. and then the joke just disappears forever. That was, I like the idea of that. It was great fun.
Are you liking the format of this? Because you've done, I mean, you got.
Yeah, I like this because
Yeah.
the show opens with comedy. I don't come out and go, "Hi, everybody, great to see you all. We have a fantastic time waste." We just come out and we hit it with either funny headlines or something of that nature, something that's timeless, something that will work in any circumstance. You know, that's why I work around the country. If something works in Phoenix and Orlando and Minneapolis and you know, in Berkeley, California, it'll work anywhere if it works in all those places. And that's what we have here. That's what's great about doing stuff like headlines. They're just flat out funny without having to figure out whether it's Republican or Democrat or whatever it might be.
How many? You famously went on the road during your entire tenure during the Tonight Show. How many gigs on average, Jay, are you still doing a year?
Well, I mean, this year we didn't do anything, but
Yeah.
Up until last year, we did about 210 a year, something like that.
Oh my!
And that's sort of how you stay sharp. I mean, it's just comedy by repetition. You know, when I started in comedy, I would do my act. I would practice by doing my act and writing a letter with my other hand, so I could compartmentalize and just be able to do that. And that's what's fun about this. You have to think on your feet on this show. There's no what's the next joke? Stop tape. The tape is just rolling, and you go and you do it, and that's what's great fun.
And how's Mavis doing?
Good. Everybody's good. You know, we've been married 41 years. We have a lot of fun. And, you know, if people want to be on You Bet Your Life,
Yeah.
you go to the website, youbetyourlife.com, and you can be a contestant or send something in or whatever you like.
I love it. Jay, thank you so much. And
Jason, thank you, my friend. And, you know, you're a handsome man. I don't know if I said that.
well, and I'm going to tell you, I've looked at you for the last 5 minutes, and I'm just going to say you're actually better looking than I said a few minutes ago.
Well, thank you. That's good. Your eyes are starting to go. But I appreciate that. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, buddy. Jay Leno, everybody. You can catch You Bet Your Life with Jay Leno this fall on Fox. There we go. It's a great concept for him. And if you want to be, as Jay said, if you want to be a contestant, there's the information right now. Head to youbetyourlife.com to apply. It's a great concept for Jay because Jay can do that great. Groucho Marx did it, and not a lot of people could pull it off. Jay, I think it's a great match of host and concept.
He's just so entertaining. You
Yeah.
know, usually the interviewee is not always like the most entertaining person, and he was just like, "Bah, bah, 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 bah."
Yeah.
I love him.
That dinner, I'm not kidding.
Yeah, please,
it was the
I
oddest.
need more.
I know, we only have about a minute, but I used to do the Starkey Gala. I used to do the red carpet for him. And now they have the other Jason, DeRusha. They have him doing it. I think he does it better. So they have him out there. But I used to do it, and then I retired. But I sat at the last year I did it, they let me sit at the fancy table. Never very fancy. So I'm sitting there, and I look over at Colin, and I said, look at this mix. It was Gene Simmons and his tongue next to Tony Blair, former British Prime Minister Tony Blair. That right there, that combo was fantastic to watch for 3 hours. And then Jay's there, and then we are like brown shoes at a tuxedo. You know what I mean? What are we doing there? It was like, there's, you know, one of these things isn't like the others. And it was Colin, it was the two of us.
What do you even talk about? Like with that mix of people?
Tony Blair was fascinating. He was very nice. I talked to him because I'm a political nerd.
Yeah.
So I could, but Gene Simmons scared me. I didn't say anything to him.
Okay.
And I think Jay Leno sensed I was a Letterman guy. Coming up, one woman is on a mission to help everyone embrace their most confident self. We're chatting with the founder of the Inner Beauty Project when we return right after this. Jay was great, though. That was great. Welcome back to the show. Well, you hear me say at the end of every one of the broadcasts, go out there and be yourself because no one can tell you you're doing it wrong. Well, it's a good reminder for everyone to be their authentic self. And that's just what one local woman is doing. She says doing something simple like changing her hair transformed her life. Joining me now is the founder of the Inner Beauty Project, Nicole Pillow. Hi, Nicole.
Hello, Jason. Hi.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I was looking forward to this conversation because I think this is one of those moments. We're a goofy show, but I also like using this platform to educate every so often. And I think if I can start with, I know what it is, but I don't even think a lot of folks watching realize what it means when you say natural hair. You know what I mean, Nicole? I don't think a lot of people innocently don't know what that means.
It's true. It's true. I think that you know, natural hair isn't something that, quite frankly, hasn't been celebrated
Yes.
over the years, if you will, and history, if you will. And so I think we're a bit removed from what natural hair is. In fact, prior to me embracing my natural hair, you know, I wore it long and straight and, you know, had my flow on. And, you know, people didn't even know that I had this hair. And this was hair that was my God-given beauty, and yet I wasn't able to embrace it for many years in my life, up until maybe just even 3.5 years ago.
Nicole, what was it, if I may ask? Was there, you know, where was the epiphany that you're like, wait a minute, I need to do this?
I'm gonna tell you, it's the truth. You know, and it was an epiphany. It was a moment in which I had spent a weekend at a cabin. You know, we like to do that in Minnesota, our weekends at the cabin, and I was hosted by some lovely friends, and so it turned out that there was. She owns a hair salon and said, "Will you try these products?" And I thought, "Oh my gosh, if I do that, I got to get my hair wet. And if I get my hair wet, I ain't gonna be right by Monday." I'm keeping it real. And so what I said, okay, as long as I've got time, I can get home, get myself ready on Monday, good. And so I did this, and I had this moment on the drive home, Jason, when I was so uncomfortable, so much anxiety, just sitting in my own natural hair. I said, what is this? And I had you know, I'm going to tell you, I felt like God was really speaking to me to say, you know something, Nicole, you have a platform in which you are standing on, telling women on a regular basis, and men, you know, that they are my one of a kind design, and that, you know, they are handmade and they are meant to stand in their true authenticity, but you aren't able to stand in yours.
You know, Nicole, go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, my apologies.
Well, I was going to say, and so it was in that epiphany, in that moment, that I was challenged to lean into the anxiety, lean into the core hurts that started from childhood. You know, when society tells you that what you have isn't right, or what you have doesn't fit in, you start to blend. You start to shift things around in order to fit in order to feel acceptable, in order to have approval. And that's what happened to me over the years. I just didn't recognize how attached I had become to this new identity. Does that make sense, Jason?
It does, Nicole. And you know what I got to tell you, it's obviously, as a nerdy white boy, it ain't hair for me. But I will tell you the reason that I identified and couldn't wait to talk to you is because I recently had this epiphany for myself. I'm a person, like so many watching, that struggled with weight. And, you know, at 46, I was at a beach, Nicole, and that's why I was listening to what you just said, and I can relate on it. I was at the beach, and I'm one of those kids that never took off the white T-shirt. And I'm sitting there, Nicole, and I'm like, I am giving these people a lot of power over me to not just, and I took off my shirt like you did, and I sat in myself, and I was like, you know what? And so I get it, and it's so powerful, Nicole. It really is.
And wouldn't you say it's liberating and it's freedom when you denounce the false lies and that society can attach to those external things that are supposed to define beautiful or define acceptable or what looks good. And the reality is our power is so rooted in within just being our true selves. If we can get that, that's where our true power is.
Nicole, we have just 30 seconds left in this segment. Can you stick around though for me? Will you stick around for another segment? But
right on.
I want to end with just 30 seconds. Don't you think though, I see hope. I see hope because, you know, when people see themselves reflected in television and magazines, you know, the little kids watching now, don't you see a little hope in the power that people like you are putting out there?
I do. I see the hope. I mean, I can just the other day, I can be in Target and look up and see a girl with natural hair and say, my gosh, we're being celebrated.
Yes.
And that's not what it used to be.
No.
You know, and we see full figured models, or we see, you know, so I'm grateful that the trajectory is shifting.
So what is Nicole's project all about, and how can you get involved in all of that? More with my new friend when we come back. Back after this. Welcome back. Talking to my new friend, Nicole Pillow, founder of the Inner Beauty Project. Nicole, before we get to the workings of the project, when it starts, et cetera, continue educating the folks with, you were talking about the hoops that you went through most of your life, looking a certain way. But there's a financial cost to this that, again, I don't think people realize. What were you spending, Nicole, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, yeah. Let's just say the hair budget was real.
Yeah.
As I like to say. But, you know, I would say upwards anywhere from $600 to $700 a time, if you will, because let's keep it real. First of all, if you're going to have extra hair, make sure it's the good stuff. So I've got
Nicole!
I'm sorry. If I'm gonna have it, it gotta look right. So
yeah.
I used to get it custom blended, and I would get that out of New York City, and then you have to get the hair put in, and you know, blended and cut was another stylist, and just by the time it was all wrapped up and signed, sealed, delivered the way I wanted it, it was a good $700. Yeah, you know. So yeah.
What I love about the project and having you as a guest is the fact that, and just to reset the table, this is not just about, this can be, if you're watching right now, folks, and you're concerned, you don't want to go gray, or you're worried about going gray, or you are afraid of celebrating your baldness. That's what the Inner Beauty Project is all about. Nicole, when does it start, and really what is the project's mission?
Oh, yes. Okay. Well, the project mission, and I'm grateful that you said that. For me, yes, it was my hair. My hair was the thing, if you will, that I needed to embrace to be in my true, authentic self. But I do believe that this project is for everyone and any woman who really wants to experience what is it like to walk in your full power, to know, to have the confidence that comes with healthy self-image, that comes with knowing you have a powerful purpose that this world needs, and healing, and, you know, authenticity. And it's really about being able to redefine how we see ourselves, where the external is no longer what's defining how we feel about ourselves. And it's just, that can be different for different people.
Yeah.
As far as what that, you know, what that looks like. But it's really, the training is designed to really help an individual to get 100% in tuned with the internal beauty of who they are, that authenticness that comes from the inside. And when you walk in that, when you take on your own inner beauty project, you can walk in it. And so my next training opportunity starts on June 5th. And it's a 4 series of trainings, if you will, meaning 4 sessions of training in which we're going deep and we're diving and we're going below the surface. And we have fun, but we deal with some of those, some of the harder, we
saboteurs,
take off the layers, if you will, and we work with that. And it's virtual, so you know you can just chime into the training virtually, and it's me delivering what I know was I've turned it into a system, quite frankly, and I've watched many women find freedom by applying these techniques, and I know that for me, it was life-changing, and I made a decision that I have to get this to more people. Yeah. More people need to experience that freedom that you felt out on the beach, that I felt when I embraced my authentic self. And, you know, coming from a world, and I'll just share this briefly, but I was in a world, and when I was, you know, working for Ebony Magazine, and I was around the most incredible designers and beauty, and I have a wonderful appreciation for that. But what I also got really clear about is that it really is not the external things that define us.
Nope. It's fundamentally, I think, Nicole, it's fundamentally realizing that it's a simple word, but you are enough. You are enough where you are.
You are enough where you are. And too often, Jason, and I know that you could probably relate personally, but too often in society and you know, we're getting messages that tell us that we're inadequate, that tell us that we're not enough, that communicate that somehow just the way we are isn't enough.
Yeah, and you are.
And I never, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And really quick, we do have to go. But Nicole is basically a relative of ours because her aunt is the fabulous Rose McGee, who is one of our favorite guests of all time. And now I can add you to that list. Nicole, will you please come back and visit us soon?
I will. And if you would I will come back and visit. I love my Auntie Rose, and I'm so glad to be a part of your family now. And I just want to also make sure that I let individuals know where to go to myinnerbeautyproject.com so that you can launch your own inner beauty project.
Absolutely.
And take that journey with me. Yep.
Nicole, thank you. I will see you soon.
All right, I'll see you soon, Jason.
Bye, Nicole. For more information, as Nicole said, register. Go to her website, NicolePillow.com, right there. Support Nicole. What a great message. We're going to have some fun. We're opening up the Jason Show mailbag when we return.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Little Yam House. Support the guys. Follow them on social media. Give them some love. They're the best. How great was Nicole? We got to have her back. She's inspiring.
I love her.
And again, it doesn't have to be hair. It can be anything that's holding you back,
Right.
And
She made me be like, yeah,
Yeah.
I need to look at some things.
Yep. Time to open up the Jason Show mailbag. Hit it, Steve.
You've got mail.
We do. First up, a sweet message from Sherry. Hi, Sherry. She says, now that I'm retired, I've been watching the Jason Show every day that I can. I absolutely love it. You guys do a great job, and I'm always excited to know what's going to be on next. Also, I don't feel guilty watching. That's good. I know. We are a guilty pleasure for a lot of dudes. They come up, they whisper to me, I watch your show. I'm sorry. Yeah. Quite a few of you had something to say about our most recent show and tell episode from a week and a half ago. The Jason Show staff, with Shane filling in for Kendall, shared something they found around their house. I showed off my signed pictures of the Dallas and Knots Landing cast. Executive producer Jeff raved about his Fasta Pasta. Well, Joyce says, my hubby roared because he uses the Fasta Pasta and we love it. Also, I'm a huge fan of Dallas, Knots Landing, and Falcon Crest. Say hi to Lake Crystal says hi. Hello, Lake Crystal. Anybody that likes Dallas and Knots Landing is all right in my book. But the Fasta Pasta, my goodness, we're never going to live that down. Jeff thinks it's my mother, too. Dar loves, but she has another one. I don't know. Carolyn has a suggestion after I said my mom has the pasta maker, similar to the one Jeff has. She says, I wanted to know if you were going to put Jeff's Fasta Pasta to the test against Dar's spaghetti maker. I would like to purchase one of these and would like to know which one is better. Jeff versus Dar.
Can you imagine? This would be fabulous.
Here's the problem. Dar's stuff is still in storage. We're still trying to, anyway. But once Mom gets the house, we'll do Dar versus Jeff. I can't think of what hers was called. I'll find out. I'll call her. Next, many of you are still talking about the day I asked everyone to write turkey neck on our social media pages to see if you were actually watching us on Fox 9 Plus. We moved over here during the trial. I joked that we'd give away a date with producer Ted. Well, Michelle writes, did I miss the announcement on who won the date with Ted from the turkey neck contest?
Here it is. Michelle!
Yeah, Michelle, you win by default because, okay, anyway, finally, you saw the Jason Show staff try out the Pillowface Instagram app last week, but one person noticed something different behind producer Ted. Now, here's I'm sorry. Can we just sit on this for a little while, Steve? Here's the picture again of Ted. Do you notice something over his shoulder? Well, viewer Rob did. He writes, if Ted wasn't creepy enough, which right there is the best email of the week, but if Ted wasn't creepy enough, why does he have a pillow with a cat's face that's Nicolas Cage? I don't have an answer for you. Well, here's a better look at Ted's pillow. Rob, oh my goodness.
With sequins.
Rob is correct. That's a pillow with a cat on it that has the face of Nicolas Cage. Not surprisingly, it was a gift for Ted from our photographer, Eric. And if you know anything about Eric, he's maybe a couple scoops of Nutter Butter ice cream. I mean, you know, he lived in an igloo for most of the winter in his backyard. Need I say more? Finally, we got several messages about our latest Jason Show taste test. Yesterday, Kendall and I tasted 2 new sodas, Pepsi Mango and Mountain Dew Major Melon. I wondered if the Mountain Dew would be a great mix-in with something a little harder. Kathleen says, just saw your taste test of Mountain Dew Major Melon. My son, who just turned 21, is addicted to Major Melon. I think I'm going to take your suggestion and try adulting it up for him. That's my girl right there.
Hey, Ma.
I know.
What's up?
I'm going to try that. I actually, again, I was shocked. I was shocked that I didn't hate it. I don't like Mountain Dew.
I did not love it. It
You
was
didn't?
not my favorite.
My mother just texted pasta boat. Pasta boat. Is she right about that? That doesn't sound right.
I love
don't
both
know.
of those names.
I wonder if she's drinking already. What time is it?
She's at the
10:50?
bar.
She's at the bar. Oh, look, my mom's done the hard work for you. $14.99 on Walmart.com. Thanks, Dar. Doing the heavy work. You can stay connected with our show on social media. Check us out on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Search for Jason Show TV. And you can follow us on our personal accounts, too. Kendall Mark and Jason Matheson. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Pasta boat. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Thank you for watching always. I greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to sign up and be part of the Jason Show virtual audience. Go to the show, Facebook page, Jason Show TV, and click the link we posted. Sign up for a certain day and you'll be a part of the show. And don't forget, we now have audiences Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We used to do them Mondays, not anymore. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. You ready for the bubblegum goodbye question?
Yes.
Kendall, what would your Real Housewives tagline be?
Yours is going to be so good.
It is, actually. We'll be right back with the answer right after this. Because you know I've thought about this and rehearsed it.
For over 50 years, Walt Disney has turned classic stories into classic animated motion pictures. Now the tradition continues as one of the world's greatest stories becomes the newest Disney motion picture classic, The Little Mermaid.
I want to be where the people are.
Well, you may not know his name, but you probably recognize that voice from countless trailers from Disney. That was Mark Elliott, the well-known voiceover actor for many Disney trailers. Well, he passed away over the weekend at the age of 81. After 20 years in radio, Elliott branched out into voiceovers in '77. His first paid work was the voiceover on the trailer for Smokey and the Bandit. From there, he scored radio spots for Star Wars, The Goodbye Girl, and went on to become the most sought-after voiceover talent in Hollywood. I love a good announcer. You guys know that. There's a guy in ABC that I love. And yeah, so good guy. Okay. What is your Real Housewives tagline, Kendall? I have a music background for you to help you. This is the theme to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Okay. I'm like Frank's Red Hot, spicy, salty, and all over everything.
Oh, that's good.
Was it good?
That was good.
Did that go good?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yours?
I only go first class, and that includes my friends. That's mine. That's right. Yeah.
That's very show.
It's what?
It's very show.
It's very, yeah. There's a couple, I think about this often. Strangely, I do when I'm running. But that one I practice. People probably on the Mississippi, they probably think I'm nuts because I play that and I practice my Real Housewife tagline.
Is that what you were doing when you fell into the bush that one time?
No, I was staring at someone that was really good looking and I ran into a pole. That's what is that the embarrassing story you're referring to? Yeah, I wasn't paying attention and I ran right into a street sign. You know who that person was?
Yes, I do.
Sven Sundgaard.
Yes,
That's right.
I did know that.
He was running around. I mean, you know, Sven wears basically this. You know what I mean? And he was running around, and I'm like, oh, that's the weather. He was new to the market. He was wearing this, and
They're probably orange.
And it was like, and then I ran right into a street sign. He doesn't know that. He's a friend now, but Hey, that was embarrassing. Tomorrow on The Jason Show, spring fun for the entire family. The Mini-Evangelists are back with their picks for the best things to do in Minnesota. But right now, if you're watching and you're a kid that's being bullied, you go out there and be yourself because nobody can tell you're doing it wrong. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody.